Hey, my puppies. This is Melody Fletcher, author of Deliberate Receiving. Finally, the universe makes some freaking sense. And in this video, I'd like to discuss how to survive your family over the holidays. Yeah, it's that season. Happy holidays, everybody. Whether you're celebrating or not, generally at the end of the year, we tend to get together with our loved ones, our families and friends, and which can be a wonderful thing, but it can also be the worst time of the year because these are the people that drive us absolutely up the wall and they push our buttons the way that nobody else can. So how do you survive that season, and how do you maybe even enjoy it? So here's my tip from a law of attraction perspective. First of all, do a little bit of pre-paving. Do not assume that when you go home, you're going to have a horrible time. Oh my God, I'm going to see that aunt again, and I hate her, and I know she's going to ask me that question about why I'm not married yet, and blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it, yeah? You're there to show up and be who you really are, and feel the way that you feel, and talk about whatever you want to talk about. So go ahead and play some of those scenarios in your head that you're afraid of, have some good comebacks so that you can feel a little bit better going in, but get yourself into a good feeling space before you go. And if you can, the beautiful thing would be, which isn't going to be possible for everybody, but if you can, then go ahead and get yourself into a really loving space about everybody in your family. And I can hear you all scoffing now, so I know what I just said, yeah? So the next thing to remember is that your family, when they push your buttons, when they trigger you, when they say something that makes you just feel like you just got punched in the gut, or just you just want to rip somebody's face off, in that moment, they've mirrored back some of your own resistance to you. Because remember that you're in a hologram and everything is just mirroring back your vibration. So when they trigger you, the way that you feel, that's your shit. And you got to take care of that. The reason that they did that, that's their shit, and they got to take care of that, and don't worry about that because you're not here for them, you're here for you, yeah? But the holidays or any time a family get together is a wonderful time to do a sort of vibrational checkup, because your family's going to show you where you're still at and what's still bothering you and what you're still holding on to. Now, the time to work on that is not when Aunt Mabel has said some passive-aggressive thing at the dinner table and you just want to rip her face off, and so you do. That's a destructive anger release, and we'll put a link in the description about what a constructive anger release versus a destructive anger release is, yeah? But you don't want to do it like that. But you also don't want to just sit there and bite your tongue the entire time because you want to keep the peace, because that's harming you, and that's going to lead to some kind of aneurysm, so don't do that. Yeah? What you want to do is you want to put a pin in it, and then as soon as you can, remove yourself from the situation. Go off by yourself, maybe when you go to bed at night, and think about why whatever this person said bothered you. What really, really bothers you about that? Because if you didn't care about what they said, it would not have bothered you. If somebody comes up to you in the street and says, I hate your purple hair, and your hair is not purple, you're going to think, oh, that person's just crazy. Okay, you're not going to take it personally. But if your friend comes up to you and says, oh my God, you look fat in that dress, you might have a really different reaction. So, because if you're insecure about your weight or your looks or what people think about you, that's going to be triggered by that response. Anytime somebody comes up to you and triggers you, that's an opportunity for you to release something. And there is no better time to do that than the holidays. This is what you've been preparing for all year. This is what you've been shifting your energy for, to go in there and see what else is left. Yeah, this is like going to the Olympic Games. This is like going to the World Cup. So consider this, prepare yourself before you go, and don't take it too personally, and don't beat up on yourself if you do experience negative emotion, because remember, negative emotion is nothing but a messenger. So I hope I've given you some really good tips and a good game plan, yeah, and then once you get home from holidays, maybe go on vacation. And also consider that if you anticipated being really, really negative, that you don't have to go spend time with your family at all over the holidays. You get to do whatever you want. So if going to the Bahamas by yourself or with your boyfriend or husband feels better than going home for the holidays, then do that. You have my full permission. Yeah? So again, I hope I've given you a good game plan. Please consider sharing this video with your peeps on social media or anybody that you think might need some help surviving the holidays this year. I wish you all the best, and I will see you next week.